Hi, I'm Kathy Callahan-Brady, and welcome to In the Trenches. Today we have a very special guest with us. This is Kraimer. Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.
Absolutely. So I love this In the Trenches for several different reasons. One, it gives me a chance to really thank you for everything that you do for Fitzy and our clients, and it's tremendous. I mean, I know you're busy, extremely busy, and to be able to take time out and teach some of the classes for free, even though I know you love that business model, Candace. And then being on our board as well, and then helping us with the marketing and then advising our clients, and I think, yeah, that's probably enough, right?
Well,
but there's a lot you do.
You always want to give back.
Yeah.
You know, you always want to. You love it when people jump, and you want to do whatever you can.
Yeah, I get that. I love it as well. So let's talk a little bit about your business.
Sure.
What's CycleFit?
So,
all that kind of cool stuff.
CycleFit on the surface, we've been in business just over 2 years. It's an indoor cycling studio, the only indoor cycling boutique studio in Frederick County. That said, CycleFit takes on some different directions as well. We're always looking to see what else can be done, blending the boutique fitness studio to the corporate world. So while we've just moved into a larger location right over by the Frederick Airport, we are putting in place on-site corporate wellness programs. We're also talking to some companies about doing a different version of virtual or augmented reality and branding CycleFit. Not what everybody thinks about it, but just always looking at different avenues. So we're always looking at our core business, but we're always looking at what are some additional things that we can do. Where's the industry going? It's exciting. Very,
Why
very exciting.
CycleFit, though? I mean, of all the things that you could possibly do, you know, why'd you decide that?
So I've always been competitive in sports. I've been a competitive runner since 4th grade. After I graduated school, I got into competitive biathlons, which then combined cycling and running. And just over 5 years ago, I had total hip replacement. And I was told it was severe arthritis that had built up because of, back then, you didn't have 5-yard shoulders to run on. So your right leg was always 2 to 3 inches below. And running decade after decade, I just developed severe arthritis. So I was told, obviously stay in shape, but find something besides running. So I started doing a lot of indoor cycling classes, and I'll always remember this day. I was down in DCM business, and I'd always heard about this place called Soul Cycle. I said, let me try it. 10 minutes in, now I was in pretty good shape. At least I thought I was. 10 minutes in, I thought I was going to throw up. 20 minutes in, I couldn't stop smiling like this, even though my legs felt like they were on fire. About 35 minutes in, I felt like I was going to cry. And afterwards, I was like, I've never felt euphoria like that before. And
even the runner's high?
It was totally different.
Yeah.
In a HIIT, high-intensity interval training style fitness workout, the chemical reactions that your body releases is different than a runner's high.
Oh, wow.
A runner's high takes anywhere from 1.5 to 2 hours for that chemical reaction to kick in. Whereas with HIIT classes, it's designed to kick in a short, intense period of time. And when you experience the first time, you always remember that, and you want to get that feeling as often as you possibly can. But the other part of that was also, and I know it's an overword used, community. There was really a sense of community, and it's just a different feeling, a different vibe of being in a group and everybody going through the same feelings that you are versus trying to get it on your own. And it was just different. So I came back into Frederick and said, there's nothing like this up here. The really successful ones were national. They were in the high-end cities. But I did a demographic analysis, and I compared the demographics of downtown Frederick to Bethesda, to DC, and I'm thinking, why don't we have one of these? So a few months later, we started building one.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah,
and,
so
and
am
you, and you make me want to go try it, too.
Okay.
So I'll have to do that. So part of In the Trenches, we really like talking about some of the lessons that we've learned And as entrepreneurs, we never want to talk about the ones that were extremely painful and stuff, but those are the ones that we should be talking about because, sharing it is important, and it's also, it helps so many others. So, you have any lessons that people could learn from that?
Absolutely, and you're right. The lessons come from the ones that didn't work. And CycleFit is the 5th business that I have or have been a part of a team that has started from scratch. And the first one, on the surface, was extremely successful, but we had to have a fire sale because we overlooked things like taxes. And unfortunately, another company got a really good deal, and we got nothing. Another company, I was going to sell to a competitor, and I ended up selling to a couple of the employees. And as an entrepreneur, that was an amazing feel-good. That company's still in business. I still talk to the owner. They're consistently growing. And it's great to be able to spread that and keep that business going. I had one business that you could say was relatively successful. I sold it to a publicly traded company. That was a whole nother learning experience. Being privately, doing your own thing, calling your own shots, and all of a sudden having to report. But you learn a lot as well. I think some of the lessons are, number one, from a feeling is to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to be comfortable always being uncomfortable. Because there's always something that happens that you didn't anticipate, no matter how much planning, no matter how much experience, something happens you weren't planning on. There's always something better that you can do. You can always improve. And if you're not uncomfortable all the time, you get complacent. And when you get complacent, people pass you up. And you start paying attention to those little things that come back to haunt you. So you're either really comfortable being uncomfortable, it's just not your thing. And either way is fine. But I think a successful entrepreneur, you just have to to thrive on being uncomfortable all the time. It's kind of like stress. I remember watching a TED Talk on stress. And stress, another thing that creates a certain chemical reaction inside your body. And some people react differently to stress than others. It's not that one's a better way. You just have to know how you react to stress. I thrive on it. Other people, I hate feeling stressed out.
That might be the athlete in you from 4 years old.
It could be. It could be. And it's almost like as an entrepreneur, when you're feeling more stressed out than normal, because you always feel stressed out, that competitiveness rises. You're like, okay, let's go. We're ready.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. I think some of the other things about entrepreneurs, especially as you get to the point where you're bringing on employees, they're not employees, they're teammates. They're not really teammates. They're business partners, whether they're direct business partners or not. So don't teach, educate. People don't like to be taught lessons. They like to have knowledge. They like to be informed, but they like to make their own decisions, not be told. Don't manage, lead. There's a big difference. Give your employees, authority. Let them be empowered to make decisions. Let them fail. Failure is part of success. That is very, very true. You don't know what doesn't work until it doesn't work. So it's hard for an entrepreneur to let go. I think the most successful entrepreneurs really, really do a good job of letting go, and letting go really just creates more opportunity. And the bottom line is that's why we're doing it. We're doing it to create opportunity. Yeah, we want opportunity for ourselves, but we love creating opportunity for other people as well.
Yeah, I get that. I also get it when I look at some of our entrepreneurs today when it's just one of them and then they finally bring on that second one. And if that person is not the right person, if they're not an A player, if they don't get it, that's 50% of your workforce. You've got to choose the right person, put them in the right seat, or it could cripple you. One wrong person can cripple you in terms of the organization.
Absolutely. Again, a phrase some people feel is overused is culture, but culture goes a long way. You can absolutely love what you do and hate doing it with the people that are surrounding you.
Yes.
So you got to find what you love to do and surround yourself with people who are similar. Not everybody identical, because you don't know all the right answers.
That's for sure.
Someone else is going to come up with an amazing answer that's going to just catapult everybody to the next level. So yeah, that goes a long way.
Yeah. People forget sometimes too, as soon as they bring the next person in, it can change a culture. One person can actually do that. Hey, talk for a minute about Business Model Canvas, because you and I both have a love for that, value behind it, importance of it, anything along those lines.
What I love about the Business Model Canvas is it's applicable to almost any type of business. Yeah, we use it for unbelievably brilliant ideas. And I've told you before, some of these things go over my head really, really quick. But the Business Model Canvas makes you focus on, sure, it's what is your value proposition? Why? Because the value proposition helps you to understand whether whatever it is you're doing, whether it's a hobby, maybe a really expensive hobby, or whether it truly is a business that can scale, that can grow. So that value proposition. But then all the other pieces that go into it, who are your value partners? What are your channel partners? The expenses. All these blocks, what's beautiful about it is whether you're using it to create that initial business plan, and whatever the purpose of that business plan is, so that you know, yeah, this is a business, so that you're using it to go raise money to really start going. But even after the business is up and running, successful, you can zero in on one of those blocks and always improve your business. And if something's going wrong, usually you know what box is going wrong. So keep all those things that are working going, zero in on that box. It's beautiful. I mean, it's really hard to make something simple. And no business is simple. No successful business is simple. But that strategy with those blocks makes it's one of the most simple ways I've seen of breaking down a business into all its different unique pieces.
I would agree. I love that tool. So I think at this point we've got to wrap it up, but I'd love to give you an opportunity. I mean, do you want to leave them with one piece of advice or a quote, a book, a motto?
I think a couple of things. Be wary when people say follow your passion. What a lot of people don't realize is where the word passion comes from. It comes from the Latin word passio, which means to suffer. So if you follow your passion, you have to be willing to suffer to make that passion a true business. And you have to look at yourself and say, what does suffering mean to me? What am I willing to give up? And you gotta own that. You gotta own that decision. The other thing is constantly learning. I think every entrepreneur tries to better themselves in different ways. There's lots of different ways to do it. There's workshops, there's talk radio. I do a lot of time in the car. So I'm a big Audible fan. The two most recent ones are Raise Your Game by Alan Stein. I saw Alan speak at the Institute for Sales Excellence and was hooked from him from the beginning. Did not know at that time he's local. I think he went to school right here in, might have been Frederick County.
Really?
There's a lot of sports analogies, so that resonated with me.
Right.
But awesome book, Raise the Game. And the other one is a short read. It's an hour. It's called Exactly What to Say by Phil Jones. And he gives, I think it's 15 or 18 words and sayings. And it's beautiful the way he puts together. But it's also usable in creating a business. It's usable in training. It's usable in sales. It's usable in relationships, whether it's you and I talking or whether you're bringing it back home. So I always find that the most helpful books are ones that you can adapt and put into use both in your business but also in your personal life too, because as an entrepreneur there's no separation.
Well, that's for sure. Two good books. I will go find them.
Yep.
I'm glad I only do this once a month because you guys give such great...
You'd be reading forever.
Well, I love reading, so it kind of works for me. But.
In my favorite quote, I think it was Maya Angelou. Always remember, people don't remember what you said. People don't remember what you said. People don't remember what you did. They remember how you made them feel.
Yeah,
that's
a great
what it's all
one.
about.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it and your time coming in. And thank you guys for watching In the Trenches. If you want to learn more about all of the people who give their time to FITSE, go to www.fitse.org. Have a great day.